Just know I'm down and diligent. I'm down and diligent. Ay, mama always working late. Daddy didn't work today. I got all these bills to pay, and I'm not even thinking straight. Probably twisting up a wood, trying to see what's up today. I've been engineering all my music, feeling all type of way. Drowning in my thoughts, I might get lost up in this tidal wave. Maybe I'm just tired of Seattle, I need brighter day. I get way too high, I lose my mind, I'm thinking all type of shit. Look you in your eyes, I see a star, son, your future lit. Smiling at your mama, all in love, that's my type of chick.
Yo, what's up? What's good, man? Y'all know what's happening. Y'all tuned into another goodie, the Down and Diligent podcast. Got the Dad podcast up in here, man. You got me. You got your boy Dez.
Yes, sir.
Your boy Joey out, man. We still want to shoot them prayers and condolences to my boy and his family. As you go through these times, man, get stronger. Chopped it up with Joey the other day.
Strong,
You
my
know, it's
boy.
all good, man. My brother, he holding it down, staying strong. You feel me? That's all we can do. But today, man, we got a real special guest up in here today. This woman is a visionary. She's a content creator. She has her own podcast, Wide Scope Podcast Radio. You can follow that on Instagram, also YouTube, all other platforms. This woman doing her thing. She's also a manager. She helps produce podcasts. She's a videographer, and she have what is a TV show about to air in November called The Queens of the Mic Volume 2. So we're gonna get into all of that.
Hey now.
That was like 12 hats right
Okay,
there.
Yeah,
feel
come
me? I
on,
was
man.
like, damn.
You got a lot
I was
going
like,
on.
man,
Yeah.
when I'm so damn tired. Man, I appreciate y'all having me and even just giving me the opportunity to come out. It feels real refreshing.
Most definitely, most definitely. We're glad to have you, you know.
Thank y'all.
Woman of many hats. How you continue to hold it down? Young
Uh,
black woman in America today, man. How you do it?
you know what I realized is that you have to be really passionate, you have to be really focused, and you have to be willing to put it all on the line. And that's like I tell myself that every day, no matter how hard it get, to stay focused, stay driven, and sacrifice it all for it. So.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Sacrificing, talking about sacrificing. What's some of the sacrifices that you had to make, you know, wearing all these umbrellas? Because I know a lot of people depend on you too as well.
Yeah, that's true. To be honest with you, it took me a long time to be able to dream. I'm 36 years old. I've been raising a 30-year-old man with autism my entire life.
Mm.
And also I have a 13-year-old. I've also taken care of my mom, my grandparents, and my dad currently, who just has suffered 2 strokes. And so I realized in being a caregiver for others, I've reached a pinnacle point to where I could put myself first.
Hmm.
And so now that I could put myself first and do the things that I've always wanted to do,
Deserve to put yourself.
yeah, I go
Right.
super hard. I go super serious. You know, a lot of people like, why you always so serious? I'm so serious because I waited a long time to get to this point, and
Hmm.
I really don't have no time to waste. Every time I leave my brother and my daughter to go do something, it needs to be towards something of building the brand to become the best. I try to have fun here and there, but even while I'm having fun, I realize there's a purpose, and you got to live with purpose, and that's what keeps me going. And just my sacrifices that I've already made up until this point is the reason why I go so hard.
Most definitely.
And I feel you. Because I also I have 2 autistic daughters too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I know how
Shout out to the
that
autistic gang
Feel
gang.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, man. I have some important people in my life too that
Yeah.
autistic.
Feel me? It's that shit is kind of that shit is it's not it's difficult. It's hella difficult because it's like you have to have. 'Cause you know me, I'm like a free will person, and the deal with autistic people is kind of like they're like scheduled people. Like you kind of gotta
Yeah,
have them,
yeah,
and that was kind of hard for me to adjust to. And still, so I'm like a kind of like spontaneous. I'm like
Yeah.
but with them, you can't really do that because you throw off they thing, it's over.
It's
yeah,
all about consistency for
Mm-hmm.
them.
yeah.
So I think that's the reason why I'm the way I am is because I had to program myself to be consistent to raise my
Hmm.
brother and to take care of my family and to take care of things that's why I feel like I'm an excellent manager than a lot of people that I've seen. And so being the daughter of a 10-time Grammy winner, um, learning a lot of things,
Chill down.
watching.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Uh,
That's ill.
I realized that
Who are you the
in-
daughter of?
my dad, his name is Nenge Hernandez. He plays the congas. My dad has
Okay.
been a master drummer from Havana, Cuba.
Oh,
And
shout
so
out to your
I
dad, man.
learned, yeah, shout out to Pops, that I just learned recently that my failures and my hindrances and my sacrifices in life And getting over those things gave me the qualities to be the best and to be
Mm-hmm.
better than everyone else in front of me. Because I know what it's like to sacrifice. I know what it's like to stay focused. I know what it's like to put it all on the line, even when things aren't great at home.
Right.
And so I think that a lot of people don't know how to leave their problems at the door when they do business.
They don't.
And that's been my entire life, is to act like everything is okay when it's not.
Mm.
Like today, I'm here for this interview, but I'm also going to go see my dad at the rehabilitation center where he's had 2 strokes. And I have to get training today on how I'm going to take care of him when he leaves the hospital. Is that going to affect my everyday work? No, because I know how to go through the challenges of life and still get to it. And so I realized that I no longer pity myself. I realized that I have an advantage. I know how not to let life get the best of me and still be the
Yeah.
best.
Right. Patience too.
Yeah, patience.
Yeah, most definitely.
Patience. Ain't
Yeah.
really
For real.
don't quit on everything so fast. That's what I learned about with dealing with people with, I guess, what was that, disability, right? I don't like to say
Yeah.
that word,
You
but
have to
Well,
have
the thing
patience.
is that they don't. I learned this by being a one-on-one for people with disabilities.
Mhm.
It's that my child suffers from autism. He isn't autistic. You know, he suffers from.
Mm.
He just suffers from these things. This isn't who he is.
Right, right,
You feel
right,
me?
right,
So
right.
my brother isn't Wilburn, who has autism. My brother is Wilburn, and he suffers from autism. He isn't
Right.
just Wilburn who's autistic. You
Right.
know.
Mm.
And so once we learn that, that's how we can adapt to everybody. That everybody is different. Everybody has different ways about them. Everybody has been through certain things that
Mhm.
makes them who they are. That doesn't mean they are what they've been through.
Right. Right.
I love them. They so honest, like to
Yeah.
the fault. Like that's what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
carry. You know what I'm
Yeah,
For
saying?
sure.
it ain't no gray area. It's just
Love
white
it.
or black with him. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that also has let me know that we have to be mindful that everybody's mind is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so me dealing with mental health issues, me seeing mental health issues, me dealing with different cognitive learning complexes made me realize that everybody different. We all may show up in the room like we okay, but everybody got a
Yeah.
couple of screws that ain't tight.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Everybody got some things that they good at and some things that they're bad at. And
Right.
so
Mm-hmm.
we just gotta kind of like have that balance.
Right. I feel like they also require honesty too.
Yes.
'Cause you can't, but by you your brother being an adult that suffers from autism now, right?
Yeah.
And you have an autistic your children suffer from autism.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you necessarily not just give him but other people that's dealing with children, because it took a lot of patience,
Yes.
right? And I know now your brother do a lot of things by himself.
Yeah.
You
Praise
know what I'm
God for
saying?
that. Praise
But
God.
he had to
Hallelujah.
teach. You had to teach, and reinforce that
Yeah.
often.
I
And
tell
once again,
people
I'm
all
sorry.
the
Go ahead.
time, you have to treat it like a blank slate. We all assume that people know things. Like you say,
Mm-hmm.
just go down there and grab it. No, it has to be go all the way to the end of the hallway and make a right and go into the second drawer and grab that. We have to learn how to have more follow through when we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I learned with my brother is even from the beginning stages when he didn't speak and he was reckless, I learned that sometimes you have to mimic their behavior. Sometimes music is the key to everything.
Mm.
That's why shout out to the board of supervisors. We had the opportunity, myself and the Saluna group, go around to 8 regions in California and figure out how do you get arts and music back into the school system, back into working with people with autism. My brother speaks today and sings today because of Disney Channel,
That's how my
Disney music.
that's how my
Yeah.
was she sings was
Yes.
she sings it like
That's how they do it. I bought
mhm.
every soundtrack to Disney. My mom bought everything from the Disney store, and we would buy the soundtracks. And my brother sang those soundtracks, and it later became through music that he learned to speak.
Mhm.
And so that's the what drove me to say I want to help with this initiative.
Yeah.
The arts and music cultural department for the board of supervisors. Anybody can apply for a grant if you're doing something with music, doing something with kids, and that's the reason why I'm in this. I helped start that, and that's what moved me to say, well, you got to have a foot in it to do it. You can't
Right.
you can't
Music
be
was
out here.
calling you.
Yeah, you
It was
can't
calling
say
Just
you.
say
yeah.
talk about it from the outside
It
Yeah.
looking
was
in,
calling
but
you.
Yeah, it
really
was
with a flow,
calling me.
It was
right?
calling
So I
you.
say, you know what? Let me do this program to get money out there and
Yeah.
then get into this industry and say, hey, let me remind you guys of your civic duty.
Mhm.
A lot of people just see me out here working and it's cool, but I'm a 2-time service civil honoree from the White House for doing community service. I
Mm.
worked for Bernard Parks for 8
You
years. I
gotta cheer
worked,
that on too.
I'm
Yeah,
saying,
Yeah.
you got to be conscious of your community, and
man. Hmm.
unfortunately,
Don't I say that all the time, bro?
Yeah.
All the
I
time.
watched in the jail system working at Clark County Juvenile Hall. I learned that I can get these kids to do anything to hear their favorite song.
Mm-hmm.
And if music got that much control out of you
Hmm.
that you could do what you were supposed to do when you ain't even when you was free, you could listen to the song all the time. Then I realized that there's got to be a change of us taking these icons in this music industry and reminding them to get to these
Mm-hmm.
jails, go to these
What,
schools, do other things to make them conscious.
what Kendrick say? The times I couldn't find God, I always find myself in the song.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I always
for
say
sure.
music is always a song for everything to me.
Yeah, and that's why now I'm getting
So,
older and it's
But we
like,
got to be mindful that there's also
oh,
songs that tell people to kill
yeah,
themselves,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah, for sure.
right?
Now,
You got to be
now that I'm
Now we
getting
conscious
got
of
older,
songs.
and it's
as you
like,
older, you have to be conscious of that.
Yeah,
You
there's
definitely
songs that
do.
say "end it, fold" on
Yeah,
yourself.
a
We don't.
lot.
We ain't really a
A
lot of
lot of
songs ain't
artists put
saying
the
push
wrong
through.
message out, or they not even gonna say they put the wrong message out for them, but they put a whole different message out that a lot of these kids they not really comprehending.
yeah,
Well, they ain't telling the whole story. See, the problem is that that's why I like Jay Z. Jay Z told the whole story. You know
come
what I'm
on,
saying?
man.
Don't give me the preacher beer. Jay Z told the whole story. See, a lot of these people they selling the end game, but they ain't telling the beginning game. They ain't
Mhm,
telling the in between.
It's all good just a week
It
ago.
sound good to get put on, but you don't tell them about how some
mhm,
people don't make it. Some people get shot. Some people get killed.
right.
Me. I know I know what's for me and what's not. A lot of people kind of go for what's not by just hearing this music. At
Hmm.
first, I wasn't a believer of that. Somebody asked me before, "Do you think drill music?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, that stuff is just music." But now that I've had time to be around people, see things, I could see my daughter 13. She put Stunner Girl on. She ain't never been to the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? She's singing it like she done been to the
Hmm.
penitentiary before.
Clap, clap, clap.
Girl, you ain't putting nothing down in the P.
Yeah.
Get out of here. But then that's when I had to be conscious that my daughter is 13. She wants to be in the music industry. I gotta get some knowledge about what's going on. And I gotta put my community conscious that I had beforehand, not forget it. When you get into the limelight and you hanging out with the rappers, you gotta still remember what your passion was.
Hmm.
My
Yeah.
thing is now I'm putting music and community consciousness into one for me.
Yeah,
So
most definitely. Definitely.
And you feel like that's hard to do? Like not hard. I'm talking about just for them to listen because these little guys don't like they don't.
They don't, yeah.
you know what I realized? A lot of the community work that I do is really in silence, right? Like I help come up with Trunk or Treat event, which is what the
Mhm.
sheriff department. I've helped Taste the Soul event, Feather those, Leave those. A lot of those events. My thing is that God gave the vision to me. He didn't make it a conference call. And when I read that, I said, "There it go. The ones that want to do it, will do it. The ones that don't. Who's ever with it is with it. Whoever ain't, ain't." And I realized that once I start having that attitude, I realized that you start off with a team, that ain't gonna be your team in the end.
Sure.
You
With
don't
this,
focus on the ones that's not
yeah.
with it.
No.
You
You
got to
just
keep
focus on
focused
the
on the
ones
ones
that's
that's
with it. It's just
yeah.
like if I was selling bread, I can't be worried about people that talking about they gluten free.
Yeah.
They don't want to eat this. Like I just got to
Ain't for
stick to
them.
the people that really
Mhm.
want to do it. And since I've done that, shout out to Key Riches. Key Riches is a great person. May rest in peace. He
Rest
was
in peace, King
very,
Riches. Yeah, I met
he
him a
was
couple
very
times.
community conscious. Like there's so many people like Glasses Malone. There's so many
Mhm.
people, Compton Menace, Zoe Sama. There's so many people that are community conscious that haven't forgot where they came from. That I don't even waste my time with people who are with it or not. I
And,
just go for the
and don't
ones.
it seem like all those are the ones that don't get the bright shine that she get?
Yeah. But that's the thing. We have to realize that I really just came up with this for myself.
Hmm.
That if they didn't like Jesus, why would they like you trying to do good?
Yeah.
Mm.
Right?
And then those are the people
Mm.
like, those like firsthand people like that are like leaders of their community, right?
hmm
And the people that's behind them. So if you could get through to them, they could get through to some of them other people that you probably can't connect with.
Sure.
And that's the glory of it all, is that I learned get the popular people involved. All the other people gonna follow through. And maybe some people that I might have called you and you say no, but you find out he gonna be there, you gonna be there.
Yep.
And then fortunately, if I have to take these tokens in this community to get them to where I want them to be, to get people to follow, that's what I'm doing. I'm a podcaster, content creator by chance. You
Hmm.
feel me? This ain't something I said I was gonna do. I was divorced. I was married to somebody that was rapping, so I started getting consciously involved, and I was already community driven. But then subconsciously, I said you gotta have a foot in it to really do it, because you can't just keep saying, "Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do this?" No, you get your own cameras, you get your own studio, and then you could be that quality that you want,
Hmm.
because you can't talk everybody else into being involved.
Do you think it's because you appreciate it more when you become and put yourself in them shoes? Like
I,
you value it more. Like, damn, it really is tough and hard to book a show by yourself, you know? So it's tough to do this. So I'm not on the outside looking in no more.
to be
Like
honest
to
with
just
you,
be
I
like, yeah.
I don't know. I found it more easier being in the driver's seat than
Mm-hmm.
being in the back seat, tapping onto the driver saying, when we gonna make that stop? Or when we gonna do this? Or when we gonna do that? I've been the assistant to anybody you can think of with a camera or with a podcast. And in that time I realized God took me through that journey of working for everyone else to see the value in myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much easier when I sat in that seat and asked people that I was already community connected to and say, hey, can I sit down and talk with you and talk about what I want to talk about, the things that I want to do, versus you hiding behind somebody else. People gonna do what they want to do. And when you want to do something, you better get your butt in front of the camera
Didn't I
and
just say
be
that
your
down?
own voice.
Didn't I just say that down there?
What you say?
About people like they want to do their own thing, but they so comfortable being behind and like saying, "Oh, you should do this," and it never really is. They always never get on because they are waiting for somebody else to do it for them. When the whole time they should have the spotlight, like they should do something for it. Like you say, you've been.
I
I
worked
think
on
I
six
think I
different
think
shows
it's a
before
lot
I
of
ever
them
had my
people that
show.
had the potential to do that, but they don't want to.
They're too
They don't.
scared.
They don't like the accountability neither that comes
Hmm.
with that.
Sigmund Freud said our biggest fear is that we're inadequate. And if you don't, that's why I do so much to talk to kids about mental health, is because a lot of us be like, why this person ain't doing this? If you don't see no value in your own life, what you fighting for? You don't even see the value in your life, so that's why you ain't fighting.
I
Right.
never felt like that,
See, that's the
But a
thing.
lot of people
But
don't
dude.
it's a
That's
see
what
the
I'm
lot of
value
people
saying.
in their
Yeah,
do.
life though.
So that's
that's what I'm
why
trying to say. Like I never felt like that, so
so
I'm.
that's why a lot of people stand behind others, because a lot of people don't need to see the value in themselves.
At one
See,
point, you talked. I don't mean to
no,
cut
go
you
ahead.
off. You talked about like seeing your value. We just talked about that, and you talked about anyway. At what point do you realize, you know, what I'm going through and what I've been through? I have to grow out of that kind of and look at it as a learning situation and not let it handicap me and keep me from wanting to believe in myself and do these things that I really want to.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what?
where I'm at. I think that's the place I just came from. I
How long
first,
did it take you?
it took me, I would say, a year to get out of it. I was working with so many people. My show I got canceled somewhere, and I was going through so many things. I, sh- I couldn't get out of being the assistant. I couldn't get out of being the workhorse behind
Yeah,
someone, and that's when I realized it was just a fear of leading, a fear of accountability, a fear of really being the version of yourself you know you could be.
So you have to look within
Yeah,
yourself.
I had to look within myself and say, you're always finding a team,
hmm,
even if they ain't even your teammates,
Mm,
just to have people, just to feel like you got a team.
that's a
I had to
big
tell
fact.
myself, you're divorced. Your parents are not. My dad has had a stroke, so he's dealing with his own life. My mother's deceased. You have to face the fact that you might feel alone, but if you really believe that you got God on your side, then you shouldn't feel like that. And so that's when I realized I had to clean up the inside of me that felt like I always needed somebody.
hmm.
Right.
And then started podcasting because I realized my problem is that I suppress my own voice. A lot of us women who are rape survivors, domestic violence
Mm.
survivors, we go through things and we suppress our own voice. We give our ideas to others and let y'all push them because we're afraid to use our own voice. So that's why I push myself to the highest degree to speak, to say my truth, and to create for myself. When people call me and say, hey, can you do this? Is it a collaborative thing? Because if it ain't collaborative, I can't just do it for you.
Mm.
Because how can we be, as givers, we do for others more than we do for ourselves. And then when our life is done and gone, we didn't spend our time living for others. I can't do that no more. I've done that for my brother my entire life, and it's my turn.
It should be.
Yeah.
Should be.
You talked about. I just want to rewind back a little bit. You talked about losing your mother.
Yeah.
How old were you? If you don't mind talking about
Oh
it.
yeah, that's fine. I'm a very transparent person. Like, yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time that you did lose your mother, and how did you lose her?
Yeah, my mom, everyone in my family has mostly died from cancer. After my grandfather died, my mom started getting cancer. She had it in her kidneys first, and then it moved to her bones, her spinal cord, and then her brain.
Mm.
So my mom died in a lot of pain. But I thank God that although my mom passed away, that I had the time with her. See, a lot of us lose people, but we don't have that time. Time is what keeps you strong when they're gone. So my mom passed away. I was 20 years old. I got My mom died July 9th. I got pregnant that year, that birthday. I had too much fun, clearly.
Hey.
She's now 13. I didn't think that I could have a child because I didn't have a mother. A lot of people told me I couldn't.
Mm.
I was the worst version of myself when my mama died. I've been kicked out of every school, couple of schools.
Yeah.
Eighth grade, I was like at continuation school. I was destined for prison. And then I got pregnant and life changed for me. So in becoming a mother with becoming a motherless mother made me a different person.
Mm.
Mm.
So that's a
It's I think it's deep that you look at it like that
yeah.
because a lot of people those are one of like the traumatic experience that a lot of people is facing, like losing a parent, and uh some people don't really see themselves past that,
Yeah.
or they don't look at,
It's,
me not having, because I hear
that's something
sometimes
hard to
my
get
dad
over.
wasn't there, so some people would develop those same behaviors, and some people it would make them better. Like, oh, I know what I was missing, and I know my father would want to be there or whatnot.
Yeah. Depression is real.
Mhm.
Depression is a mind state. Depression is a moving motion of feelings that you continue to just let yourself sink in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, have I had depressive moments about my mom being dead? Yeah.
Of course, you never
Have
get
I,
over your mom.
but I realized that my mom gave me a job to still be the mother to her child, even though she was gone. My brothers and sisters aren't, I wouldn't let them hold bread for me, let alone hold my child. So
Yeah.
I realized that I've been changing diapers since I was 6 years old, changing my grandmother all the way to changing my mother to now I'm going to take care of my father.
Mhm.
I realized that there's a gift in taking care of people till they die
Mhm.
because you get to see life the way they see it now before you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes some of us don't have the opportunity to see life at the end until it's the end for us. I thank God that there's 12 people in this world that I've been there for until they died, that their perspective in life is what keeps me strong. I know a lot of people that lose their mother every day. Their mama cannot even pick up their child from their life fall apart, you know? But then I just think about how amazing my God is that my mom is gone and I can take care of her child just as good or better than her without all the resources that she had and still stand tall. You know, that's the glory of it is that we have to be the representation of our parents when they're gone.
Yep.
And a lot of people we just fall apart when our parents leave, and it's like, damn, now you looking like the sorrow child, and your mama gone, and she ain't got no representation of her. No, I'm about to get out here and be the best boss I could be to make my mom's journalism dream and my dream happen. So that when I see her, I could say, man, baby, I made it happen for us. Instead of just saying, sorry, mom, I fell apart when you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hold on to
And
none of the shit that you showed me. I just let your child fall to the wayside and I just fell apart.
Yeah.
And I just can't have that. For real.
Most definitely.
so commendable.
And I appreciate that. It's really just a part of life. We all gonna go through it. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure. Hell yeah.
We all gonna get our chance. I know a lot of people now that's losing their mom, and I've already lost mine,
Mm-hmm.
and they falling apart. And I be thinking like, I'm God, whatever's in me is still going.
Man, tell you, one of my closest friends lost his mom, and I can't even talk to him because she's like a mom to me, and it's even speaking to him, I don't know.
Do you ever feel like he might need that though? I
Yeah, I
know you
do.
don't want to force your will
I
because
do. I
you
do.
want to
Cause
give
that's my
people that
brother. You feel
space.
me? Like, you feel me? I see his mom as my mom. You know what I mean? But it's like, how can
You
I,
know,
how can I say, like, you feel me? Like, I can't, it's gonna be all right. Like, how the fuck you know? Nigga,
yeah.
you ain't never lost your mom. You feel me? Like,
I realize that it's a world in its own. Tell people all the time, you never you never gonna know what that's like until that it happens to you.
Yeah.
You just give them the best advice that you can. That's why I'm in the process of finishing my paperwork. I have a nonprofit that's gonna focus on people who are either the children or the guardianship of someone who has lost their mother or their
That's
father,
deep.
because I realize it's a secret world within a world.
mm-hmm.
Christmas is different for you than it is for me. You feel me? Christmas, Easter, my birthday. Those days are different for people that don't have the origin of where they
Right.
came from in this world. And we gotta share our testimony with people. I tell people all the time, you a street dude, your mama stick out here, get your life together. Because when you get that call from prison that your mama died and you in there
And they can't afford to bring you home.
and you can't see your mama and you can't be there
Can't
for her,
nobody help you though.
you don't get
That's
that
the
time
worst,
with your
bro.
parent. I slept on the floor next to my mama at the convalescent home. People like, Barbara, why you not at home? Because I need every moment. And when she was gone, it's what keeps me strong.
That's
Everybody
deep.
else can't say that. So that's the reason why I'm so serious is because if we don't start looking at life serious, life is gonna keep passing us by. And people are like, why are you so serious? Because I only got one life. I don't even know if I have all the 24 hours that's in this day. And if I get this 24 hours, I'm gonna make it count. For sure.
Positive way of thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's some
all
shit. Especially for my procrastinating ass.
yeah,
What do you feel?
gotta do it.
Why you feel like you're procrastinating?
Oh, I am. I feel like my last 10 minutes of somebody whole preparation is still gonna be better than the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like that my whole life. So I haven't really been proved wrong yet. I'm that
Ha!
type of person though.
Say ain't nobody prove me wrong yet.
You feel me? I haven't been proved wrong yet, so that's probably what it is. Like I gotta get probably like I'm one of the persons like show me, like feel me?
Show me first
Show me
before
first because I
anything.
seen you work hard as hell and I just tapped in and did it and your shit sucked.
You know, I realize we have to give ourselves permission to dream. That's what it is. I realize that there's nothing that we can't. Like I walked into that, like, man, I like this, but I gotta figure out.
Yeah, man.
I like this, but I
Long
gotta
story.
figure out how to do this, right? And
You
people
would
are
tell her
like,
about it after
I'm
this.
like, this is a cool place. I tell my daughter, I said, girl, you need to take note when you get up here. You need to figure out how to get the studio for me. Cause now I have a different. I really write things on the wall. I got large post-it notes everywhere, and I tell myself, there's anything you can do, I can do better.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to program yourself to tell yourself great things because our love language as people is not to tell us ourselves the best. It's to
That's right.
pinpoint everything bad about ourselves. But we gotta start telling
You
ourselves
gotta
great
focus on the
things. We
good.
gotta
Oh, I be
pump
telling
Focus
myself,
on
ourselves.
where you
I'm.
Gotta
going.
pump myself
I
up
think I
like
said
I
you the
can
other
do
day, huh? Like I got this like uncanny like confidence over
it.
myself.
Yeah,
Like
I
like
could
facts.
do it.
like yeah, I can do it. I probably
Facts.
haven't did that much, but I feel like I'm the best. Like at
You
everything. You feel me?
That's
Like
how
you
I be.
unfuckwittable.
yeah, that's how I really feel.
Unfuckwittable. I
That's
like that.
how
I'm
I
gonna have to put
feel,
that on jacket
bitch.
Like
or something. Hello.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I don't pinpoint, but I think I'm the coolest motherfucker to do it every time.
Right.
Yeah, I realize you got to be your own biggest fan, and then that way you don't care about everybody else. It used to be a point in time, you used to be like, dang, my friends don't share my stuff. My family, they only call me when they stuff about the drop. But I realized if you your own biggest fan, I made 8 other pages.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll share myself in the 8 pages and just be happy that I got shared and be like, girl,
I'm not even
I
looking for
got
the
to tell.
homies for support.
I just
Me
love
neither.
myself. Like to me, I
Me
don't even
neither.
pay attention to
I used
views.
to look at it away though, like nothing serious,
That
you
shit
know,
don't
but just
bother me.
like you feel me, like hey, why you telling me about something else? And you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here doing the same thing, but it is what it is. Everything ain't for everybody. Just because you my homie, that don't mean we can't have different dreams. You feel me? Don't let my inability to do this or focus on your dreams hold you back.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. So I don't really care no more. Like I
Now that
don't
I
think about it
learned
like
your
that.
strangers are your biggest supporters,
Mm-hmm.
I've been like on cloud 10. Shout out to the Positive Rock Nation, Chris Sean's Rocks media page. I mean, like, don't even know me, complete stranger. Has shared my page more than anybody who's asked me for money. You know what I mean? Or been to my home or dropped their kids off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one of my own parents. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Like
fact.
all the time. Barbara, how you doing? How your dad doing? People don't never ask me how I'm doing. I'm like, oh my God, who's this person?
Yeah,
And so now that I've always been team no new friends. Now I've been
That's
like,
crazy.
you been networking a lot too.
now
So
that
it's
I've
like,
been
That was
podcasting, I've been a different person.
oh yeah,
Before podcasting, that girl Barbara, see the Barbie Velvet is like,
I always thought that was the
what's
most
up,
craziest thing
Queens?
in my life.
Hello.
People that know new friends, crazy.
Because that's when
you never.
Hell, man, what, nigga? No, what?
I've had the same
Networking
friends
with
20
me.
some years.
All my friends from the hood. What are you talking about?
Mhm.
I gotta go connect dots.
Yeah,
The homies is the homies, like you said, but that no new friendship mantra is I feel like that's shit to hinder niggas. Like, why am I being
Sure it
defensive
is.
when this
networking
person
could
is
start relationships that'll
Mhm.
take you a long way.
I never knew what a friend was until I started being team new friends. I realized that all my definition of friend came from a broken love language
Mhm.
that I was more giving than receiving. So the new version of me, I have a friend named Mira Mina. She sends me playlists of positive things to listen to. She helps me learn how to trademark things, help me trademark Queens of the Mic Volume 2, West Coast, you know, gives me not that a friend is a person that builds you up to be a better version of yourself. A
Yeah,
friend ain't the friend that been around you 20 years calling you about drama to pull up on,
say that.
but
Say
we
that.
just have to
It's a
learn.
two.
It's a two, but you have to realize that
It's a two.
what's better for you is what's a friend. An associate is somebody you know based off where you've associated from. If I know you because we grew up together, you're an associate. I know you because we've associated to the same place of origin. But my friend is a person that builds me up. My friend is a person that's down for the good, not just the bad.
And they
You
gonna
know,
tell you. They
and
gonna
they
tell
gonna
you.
tell
They
you,
gonna tell you when you fucking up too, and when you wrong.
Some people don't like them type of friends.
but
Those
that's
the
the
type of
person that
friends you
don't know what a
need because it's
friend
gonna
is.
keep you
You
grounded.
feel me?
If you just
Most people like friends that
if you
that
just
stroke
hear
that ego.
praises all day,
Let
you
me tell
get
you
your
something.
ego stroked by
Speaking
it.
of,
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I've noticed that. You feel me? Because
I
For real, for
noticed
real.
that.
I'm a, honest by default. I like this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can't wait to say some shit suck. You feel me? But
Yeah.
so me by doing that, a lot of people ain't trying to hear that shit. A lot of people don't want to know they
Well, that's
flaws.
because a lot of people ain't got it going here. That's like today. I see my best friend from fourth grade, Miss Champ, walking down the street. I was telling somebody I need to check up on her because her brother just passed away, and she was walking down the street. And I learned that she was a great friend to me, but I wasn't ready for that type of friend
Hmm.
because of hurt people. I gravitated to the wrong friends than staying her friend. She was always so bubbly. She was always so happy. She was a kid. I was no longer a kid because I had been abused as a child. I had just put somebody in jail. I was an adult at that point. You feel me? She was still a kid. And I didn't want to be around her because I felt like I ain't really good enough to really be around her. She's still a kid. I'm a grown person now, you know? And so now that I seen her walking down the street today, it felt good for her to tell me, like, I understand that you were just going through a lot, but you was always a great friend.
Mm.
You was always
Yeah.
serious. I knew you was gonna always get to it.
Mhm.
And so that just lets me share to you that we know who our good friends is, but sometimes we gravitate what's bad towards us. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? And so our friends are the ones that keep that inner child going. The ones
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
and when I seen her today, I realized that that was my full circle moment of me finally realizing what friends are and seeing a friend from fourth grade that I skated away from because I felt like I wasn't good enough you
Yeah.
know. And so now I tell myself that when I'm around those girls that I didn't think that I was good enough to be around, that's my circle. That's where I belong. With the girls that are spiritually inclined, my hippie friends, those are the ones I need to be around. Not my friends that just want to be, around the bull crap and the drama. So
Drama sell, you're a content creator.
you know what? I'm quality over quality
Nah,
Nah,
over.
nah, nah. Talk to us,
yeah,
cause
yeah.
you are a podcast host.
I mean,
You
a
have
lot
your
of
own
people have called
podcast.
me about drama because I do know a lot of people.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, when I started podcasting, I told myself I've seen enough caskets, I've seen enough people go to jail. So I don't do. I know a gang of stuff about people. Okay, I done been the assistant to everybody.
I
Okay,
feel the
so
same way.
I wanna.
We
Yeah.
we could have just we could me personally can get on this show and just have this shit messy as a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Okay,
But it's like that ain't even me. I don't care
Right.
enough to do that shit. Cause after a while, I'm gonna get mad at both of y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all know each
Yeah.
other. Y'all ain't gonna do
Yeah.
nothing.
Right.
I just recently started putting some stuff on my page. I can say that White Skull Podcast Radio IG. If you
Hey,
scroll all the way down to the bottom, it's a lot of people that was making their own narratives, and that's when I realized, okay, you ain't gotta be negative, but you gotta kind of. Oh, there we go. You gotta address that people will make their own narratives up. There's certain people I work for. They'll say, "Oh, she stole something." But really, I just got tired of working for you.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's a lot
so
of things that need. I mean, I think it's certain things that need to
certain
be
things you
addressed.
have to address.
Everything
But when
don't need
people want to
to.
come on my show to start stuff, I tell people all the time, when you come on White Skull Podcast Radio, you need to stand on your own story. Your story shouldn't be about no other man, no other drama. I don't want you to leave my platform and have drama in the streets. I don't want you to be in the streets having drama
hmm
after you sit on my couch.
I like that take.
You feel me? Because
Yeah.
as black and brown people, all color people, we got enough drama in our own life. You shouldn't have a conversation with me, and now we got drama in the streets behind the conversation.
yeah.
I have a conversation with people to tell me their testimony. I asked, did you get it? Did you choose music or did music choose you? it's about your life story and who you are. That when you leave my platform, I want people to know who you are.
Mhm.
Right.
Now, who you into it with, who your baby mama don't like, who should, that's the time for another
Right.
place.
Now I understand you did radio. So
Yeah.
talk to us about the radio stations that you did do and what's the difference now
Yeah.
with being a podcast host as opposed to being a radio host.
Well, with radio, I did a lot of radio voiceovers. Shout out to Vegas. It's a lot of them hot 107.9 Atlanta is where I really got my eye on right now. Shout out to y'all. Okay.
Right.
I really want to be on your show. And my idea is now I'm putting my own money towards trying to buy my own digital number. I'm like bidding on digital numbers. This year, shout out to my friend Mama Riches that passed away. She told me that I needed to learn how to be self sufficient. I worked on all them other radio stations because my idea was to have people at my radio, be on the radio, and record their interview at the same time. So
Mhm.
that way I would be podcast radio. And all these other radio stations, it's been cool. I've been assistant intern at different radio stations. Even at Power 106, I did some things. But I realized that it's a who's who no game.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
no black female radio hosts in LA.
well, yo no sé, yo hablo español también. Whatever they need.
I was just gonna ask you too,
No, of
you know,
color. Like, I'm sorry. I mean,
I see that you got it wide
Wide
scope
scope.
podcast radio. Now, with radio, is radio dying down now that the podcast platform is growing?
You know what I realized? Like, it's a visual game. It's a visual game. And so all that time I was chasing down these radio stations. I was part of Power 106 and 92.3 to be going to the Power One House, going to the Powerhouse, going to all these events, thinking that if I just be there enough, I'll finally one day get there. But I realized that podcasting opened the way for me quicker than me straggling at the doors.
mhm.
That radio was there, but when I went to Zoo Music Reviews in Vegas, I learned that it's a visuals game and that it's about how it's set up, how it looks, and that it eventually can get you there. I've been
Mhm.
recording at home. I haven't even been going to studios lately
Mm.
just because I've been trying to save my money towards other things. But I realized that it's a visual game that can't nobody take from you. But the radio has commercials and so many other things that you really can't even get a full glimpse of you. When that camera's straight on you, can't nobody
Yeah,
take that from you.
Yep.
yeah, that's straight up.
And there's a lot of gatekeepers out here. There's a lot of people, Barbara, you don't work for me no more. I'll get you off this. But I realized that can't nobody stop you from pressing record.
Mm-mm.
Can't nobody stop you from uploading. This is God's world.
The power in your hands
And the
at
power
the
is
end
in
of
the
the day.
media, baby.
Facts.
I could go stand on a corner and interview people singing Gerald Levert all day, and guess what? It's gonna be lit.
Mhm.
Because long as I own it, long as I feel good about it, that's my drivership.
You see
So
people
Yeah.
do it on
I'm
TikTok all
tr-
day.
I'm trying to just get on the radio so that I can have a dial system. I'm trying to do like satellite radio or something like that. And then I could be officially Wise Scope Podcast Radio. But for right now, we killing the visual game on them. We just dropped
Mhm.
one Taekwon. We just dropped Layla V. I've we just gonna keep dropping till we get it.
So what's your level of understanding with these various different artists that you have? Because you talked about like having G Malone on there,
Hmm.
and they're of an older generation
Yes.
than the young dudes like One Take J and
Yeah.
stuff
Quan.
like that. So what
Yeah.
be your level of understanding
Um,
with these guys?
the 48 Rules of Power is a great book to read, and I realized that that book has prepared me for life.
You a 50 Cent one?
I love that one.
Uh,
50th Law of Power?
no, I haven't read 50 Cent one. But
It's
no, I,
it's 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 with him and
Oh, I
50
wasn't.
oh,
together.
okay, okay.
It's him
Well,
and 50. Robert
for real?
Greene and 50 Cent wrote a book
Okay,
together.
well, Robert Greene himself,
He's a hermit too.
he really kind of like opened up my mind. And what I learned is that with these artists, it's all about a blank slate. It's just
Mhm.
like being a one on one when you deal with a child with autism, right? Or you walk into the classroom and you get to know them. You don't even pay attention to the file. You don't pay attention to the numbers. You don't pay attention to none of that. You go into it understanding that they're superior because you're working with them. They and you hear them out and you mold yourself to their liking and what they have going on, and you adapt to the areas in which they lack and you help out. That's just really what it's like. Whether it's a grade artist or a new artist, Glasses Malone is a different artist. Glasses Malone is highly intelligent. He's very, very, very intellectual. Working for Glasses Malone made me a better person because I used to like work with people and they act a certain type of way and things don't go right, I'll just quit, go on something else. Glass Malone taught me that you stick with it, you know, you stand tall. Every time I would
He been
quit,
on the grind
I would
forever.
quit. I quit No Ceilings podcast. Like I ain't going today. I'm just quitting. I don't want to do this no more. And he'd be like, "Yeah, I see you at 6." I'd be like, "Okay," you know.
Yeah.
So I realized with Glasses, he taught me about not being petty and not being personal and not because I had kind of gotten far, but I got to this place of where my pettiness and personal was taking place. So now I realize with these artists can't nothing be personal. It's all business.
Yep.
You feel me? And if you want to get to the best, you just get there. And that's it. You know, and so with all of these different artists, now that I'm moving into trying to manage artists, um, I'm having a TV show called Queens of the Mic, Volume 2, West Coast Edition, where I have 14 of the hottest LA independent rappers.
What's some of them artists? That's what
Lady. I got Yardell Mimi is gonna be a judge. Hopefully I got Cammie Johnson. I'm waiting on her to say yeah. I got $1 million shit on there. I got
Shit.
Black Molly, Tallulah the Virgo, LA Barbie Bars, Keita Bonnie. I'm just looking at the board in my head. You know, I got Little Adizi. I got all the ones that you really see in LA really out here rapping, doing their thing. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be great. You know what I mean? So I will be doing this again on the East Coast. My plan is to go to the East Coast. I'm planning to go to Detroit, where my dad is from, and you know, show my daddy. He didn't know what I did great before I did music, so now I'm showing him that what I do great, and I'm gonna take it to his hometown of Detroit, and I'm gonna do Volume 3 right there in his backyard, and let him know what it is.
That's
You feel
right.
me?
Detroit players.
Yeah, y'all said my daddy a real Detroit player out there. My brother DJ Dez, Slim Village Finest, the producer. I'm gonna go out there and let him know what it is.
That's what's up.
Hard.
That's what's up. So talk to us about the show. Is it just gonna be females on there rapping, competing for a grand prize? We're gonna see.
I can't give up too much,
Yeah,
but
I
I
was gonna
will
say, we battle
say
rap.
goals as they
Like
I
battle
can't
rap
tell you
joints?
too
Yeah,
much,
one house.
but I will tell you this: it's a cipher off. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I did Volume 1 last year at the King in Lancaster, where if you were subscribed to my page, you got in. This year I'm taking it like a TV show because we're about doing what we dream of, right? And being what we want to do. I done helped all these other TV shows, and then I said, girl, you was doing all the work. It's time for you to do yours. You know?
Okay.
That's what you realize when you're in the back seat. You doing all the work anyway. Just put your name on it, ain't gonna be nothing different. So now we got the TV show popping. I'm gonna have judges. We got round 1, round 2, and round 3. You feel me? People are like, are you worried about people copying it? There was many shows before mine. There's gonna be many shows after mine. The difference is do you got the sauce?
Yeah.
I do. You know what I'm saying? Do you got the sauce to be
Talk
up
to 'em.
days? You ain't got poster notes around your house. Everybody be worried about looking good. I'll get dressed in the bathroom. I don't care about looking good. I care about being on time. I care about being diligent and being the best. You feel me? So
Yeah.
they got all these other queens that are whoop-de-whoop going on, but it's only gonna be one Queens of the Mic Volume 2 West Coast Podcast Radio. Hello.
Talk to 'em.
Going up.
Talk to 'em.
November
What's
12th
the
is
name,
going
man?
up. You know what I'm talking about? We going up November 12th. You know what I'm talking about? Stop playing with her.
And how do
And
people
yeah.
get access to it?
Oh, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be sending it to the film festival first.
Okay.
Okay, I've already paid for my application. We're going to the film festival with this.
We was in the film festival.
Okay, well, my boys at the film festival. That's what I'm talking
Wild
about.
Roots. Shout out to
Okay,
them.
so I'm also doing a documentary with me and my brother called Motherless Mother. We'll
Okay.
be submitting that as well. We're going double dose on the film
Talk to us
festival.
about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Talk about a motherless mother. What's is good? Is
it's
it gonna
just
be?
about people not understanding my seriousness. You know, like people not understanding like why I take things so personal.
But
You
is it gonna
understand?
be like day to day?
Yeah, kind of like day to day, not necessarily day to day, but just kind of like it's gonna start off like where we lived. You know, the beginning is our home address, and it's just gonna just talk about like I feel like my transparency will make other parents who are raising their children with disability understand that prepare for when your child for when you pass away. Who takes care of that autistic child? You know what I mean? Who
Yeah.
embraces him when he's gone? My mom passed away with $487,000 that she gave to my dad, and my dad married my mom's best friend 3 months after that, and they have yet to spend any of that money on my brother. But guess what? Today we still gonna go figure out how to change him and how to take care of him, and still take him home with us. And so I think that people need to understand that life isn't always about money. You know, life is about love. My stepdad was a great father, and he gave my mother a great life. what he did in her absence of her death. You can't tell nobody how to grieve, you know? So I think I want to show my maturity level to the world that I could be taking care of my brother and I'm gonna be taking care of my daddy, even though he didn't spend all his insurance money on somebody else. That's none of my business, you know? My job is just to be a good child.
Yo, Dad, that's crazy work on your daddy's hand, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, you remember my mom's best friend? She was our maid. She took care of us. So
Him running with all the money and everything. You feel me?
oh yeah, he had my daddy had alligator. My stepdaddy had the alligator suits. He was buying the you know what I'm saying? He was buying all the stuff, but that's where life taught me that it's not about money, right? Because the man that had $500,000 needs me to come take care of him. You feel me?
Yeah.
So money does not. Let
I
me tell
guess
y'all,
you are definitely better than me.
you wouldn't do it.
Fuck no. Fuck you.
Nah.
No. Fuck you.
No, what would stop you? Because what he did with
Yeah,
the
what'll
money.
stop you?
You made me. I had to raise a child and do this on my own, and knowing that with kids that I need financial gains, and I need somebody to be
But see,
there and meant for my mental. You feel me?
I'm gonna share something with you because a lot of people that's the outside look, right?
No, I'm talking about for me. I'm telling you
Yeah,
how I would feel because
I
I got
know,
somebody. You know what I mean? Because I know,
I know.
I know for
A lot of
myself.
people
Like you
always
said, I
tell me
said
that.
you're healed. I don't know how I would feel about that about myself. You feel me?
I don't know. I share this
I
with
got
you.
autistic kids.
Yeah, it's
And
hard.
that shit is hard. I'd be damned if I was to raise my kids and you had this money or anything, not even the money.
You knew.
Yeah.
You
my
motherfucking
struggle.
knew. Now I'm about to come. I can't do it
You
because
know why?
it's gonna be. I have so much. I'm gonna have so much resentment.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That's where I used to be, right?
But can that be stopping you
Hmm?
from
Let me
Oh,
tell you
yeah,
growing
it
something.
though?
will.
Let me tell you
Yes.
something. I used to be
That's what
there.
I'm saying. I'm not healed. I can't be healed. I'm not healed with that.
Let me
From
tell you
growing.
something.
From that, yeah, that's gonna hurt. I'm gonna look at you and I might start.
Let me tell
I'm
you
getting my
something. I
feelings.
used to be really hurt. It's hard to see a woman that owns every single thing my mother owns. When I walk into their house, they have every single thing. Mama. But you know what's the blessing in it? Is that my brother being with me, we both got to become the best versions of ourselves that we probably wouldn't have became if we was with them. The reason why I have no hard feelings,
That's
then I
either here
no
or
no
there
no
though.
I'm just saying.
Like a half
No, I'm just
a
saying.
half a million life is way different from you know what I
No,
mean?
I'm
Like
trying to explain to you right
resources.
now. Money doesn't always change everything. I used to feel like that. But I'm just sharing this with you so that you can, because one day you might come into cross this and you might remember this. I'm telling you. I used to feel like that, but now that I've had, that's when I used to be like, man, it's so hard on me. But now that I'm 36 and I got this 30-year-old youthful boy to help me with everything, I'll be like, look how blessed I am that my brother's just like me. He's my best friend. He's there to help me. I used to not have certain resources that I had that I have now that my brother's able to help me with. My brother got a job. He go to work. He come home with his paycheck. He'd be like, where you want to go? What you want to do? He just bought the PlayStation 5 on his own and took me to lunch.
Mm.
It's a blessing that I've been able to mold my brother to who I want him to be. That he'll never be nothing like his daddy or his mama. You feel me? And that he will grow up to take care of me. You feel me? Until this day, shit, I couldn't get out the bed this morning. He took care of me this morning. So the old me that wasn't healed used to be so hurt that he didn't help me raise his child. But the new me is so blessed that I had this child. I ain't had no son yet, but I know what it's like to have a son.
But I see what he's saying though. Do you think
Yeah.
though, if you
Cause
would have touched some of that
because
money,
I came
that
No,
from the
I ain't
projects and moved to the suburbs, and I'm telling you right now, I would never, and I never went back. I never went back.
I
You
don't know.
talk to my
I
brothers,
guess money sometimes
Desmond,
is
and
a
them
hindrance.
moved from the hood, moved to a better situation. My reading went up 10 times. My grades went up. The people I met, like
I don't
when I
know.
came from 102nd to Barton,
I'm a
I was fucking four fucking. They said I was in the second grade of learning, bro.
how old was
I
you?
don't
I was
know.
motherfucking. I was 9 years old. I had to catch all the
Mm.
way up off of how late they was. I'm talking about the resources change,
Yeah.
like how
Well, the
money in a
good thing
checks
is that I
bracket will
was an
make a
adult.
change. You
I
feel me?
I guess it's because I was an
Yeah.
adult. I look at it differently. I feel like when I look at my dad and their life right now, and they had the money compared to me, it's like I look like money. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I feel like my mom
Even
said
with
that money could have
autism,
been.
yeah, think about it. I want to move. I want to.
Because
If I
in
can't even move to certain
reality,
states because certain states don't even have nothing
yeah,
for
I
that
moved to
shit.
Vegas and that was hard. Vegas, I
Vegas
need
don't
to
even
get.
acknowledge that shit.
Vegas don't care about a disability.
You telling me? You feel me? So that helping hand, like that shit don't. You can't. Arizona, all
So
that.
your whole
Kids,
situation is way
kids on
different. though, too.
IEPs don't get no love out there.
They don't
It's
get no
what you know what I'm
love.
saying. Like
Yeah.
No
even
love.
with places you move, like you feel me. That's why I'm in where I'm at.
Mhm.
Where I move is all that is because the I need the resources and
Yeah.
with them. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I thank God
I
that
mean,
my
And that's
I
crazy.
thank God that my mom died while I was a little older. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because as a child, of course, it would have made a difference.
Mhm.
But I feel like
You're a
when
great person. You feel me?
oh, I appreciate that.
And I hope you
Aw,
get
you
what
said I was a great
you are. Because I'm
person.
gonna say this because you know you're a great person. You feel me? And you need to do what you do because most people like in your situations we good. They just get ran over. And I'm so glad that you know to put yourself first
Aw.
because I know too many people that
Yep.
throw themselves in front of everybody and take everybody heave and don't even go get their motherfucking self a cake. So that's all. You remember that? The
Aw.
reason because I know people like and
That's
it
real.
got to me. You feel
That's
me?
real.
Like people
That's
don't
real.
know
That's real.
you are the star player. You ain't gonna never, nobody gonna never be happy around you unless you motherfucking happy in your star. You feel me?
You gotta
That's
take
how I
care of
feel. You
yourself.
feel me?
You
That
gotta
was
take care of
so sweet.
yourself.
I appreciate
That's real
that.
talk. We
That's
thank you for coming through. We thank you
Oh,
for having
thanks.
all
Now
of
my
y'all, man.
eyelashes are gonna come off.
Y'all follow Wide Scope Podcast Radio. It's all good,
yeah.
man. Y'all enjoy yourself.
Alright.
Follow us,
Have a good
please.
one, man. Follow us. Follow us
Appreciate
on
y'all
all
for having
platforms.
me. And you
Just
made
know
me
I'm
cry.
down and diligent.
Telling you, yeah.
I'm down and diligent. Ah.